Hello everyone, welcome back to Rice Finance here, and I've got a video for you. This video is going to be on how to make a little bit of extra cash for this holiday season, or if you want to maybe start your own business and start making some extra money as sort of a side job. Little if you're looking to hustle a little bit. So I will say there are a lot of videos out there, but these I've pretty much tried. I would say most of the stuff that's out there, and these are just the items that I found worked the best um, out of my personal experience and the items that I've personally tried. So let's dive right into it. So the first one would be TaskRabbit. I will say this one's very overpopulated in my area, but if you are some sort of a handyman who likes cleaning, moving, outdoor help, home repairs, handyman or handywoman, I don't discriminate, but if you like that kind of, sort of manual labor or intensive work, I highly recommend you guys sign up for this. A lot of times there are people who go on here and they say, "Hey, I need help moving." And then you go, you help move some boxes, they pay you cash, they might give you a little tip or they pay you through the app. It's a nice way to kind of meet your neighbors and maybe establish some sort of a gig kind of business if you got nothing to do on a lazy Saturday. You can make some extra money doing this. Another idea in which I found is Rover. So for those of you who like dogs, cats, and or animals, if you guys like house sitting, doggy daycare, dog walking, or having an experience, maybe you have your own dog and your dog needs some attention with another dog. Who knows? This is a great idea on for that experience. What I will find is this is a lot very overpopulated in my area as well. There are a lot of people who use Rover because it is proven to work. And for those of you who love dogs or cats, it is a great way to kind of connect with your neighbors and connect with clients who potentially need those people there to feed their dog or anything like that. So what you do is you sign up. You do have to pay a fee for a background check, but after you sign up, you just have to somehow establish yourself as the best dog walker or the best house sitter out there. Like I said, it's very competitive to get into this. However, I will say that when you are in, and if you do establish yourself as one of the top people on this app, you will get hired and you can make a ton of money during this. A lot of the times you can make anywhere between 25 to $30 an hour, which is really good, especially if you like hanging out with dogs and like taking care of dogs and cats. So I highly recommend you guys look into this app. It does work, and there are plenty of other apps you could look into, but Rover is just the best one that I found. Another one that I found is a house sitter. So what I found is if you go to your neighbors' houses, you start knocking on doors and maybe posting flyers around. You start maybe saying to them, "Hey, if you're away on vacation, I could watch your house, or I could sit at your house. I could take care of your dogs, animals, anything, plants." And you go there and you say, "Hey, I could do it for like $25, $45 a day." A lot of people who own these houses, they might say, "Yeah, you know what? I don't want my house. I want to make sure I got this, I got that." Who knows? There's tons of stuff. You go to your neighbor's house, start knocking on doors. You don't have to be ashamed to knock on some doors, no matter what age you are. I mean, seriously, there's people, if there's needs, that people always want their house to be set. Because let me tell you something, from experience, I found that the people who go on vacation a lot, one of their big worries that people often have is their house, and they are worried about making sure everything is in order. So maybe you could go up to them and maybe say, "Hey, I live in blah 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 neighborhood. I'd like to see if you are potentially going on vacation anytime soon. If you do go on vacation, if you're looking for a house sitter or anyone to take care of your house, I'm your guy or I'm your girl or whoever you are, you know?" And so this does work, especially for those people who are looking to sort of have an easier job, because honestly, house sitting is really easy. You don't have to like live there. Some people might want you to actually sleep there, but for the most part, especially if you live in the neighborhood, you make an easy 25 to $45 a day. Now, it's easier said than done, but a lot of the times, really, the side jobs, as great as they sound, as great as fantastic and easy as they might sound, sometimes the best way to do it is just to get yourself an extra job. Unfortunately, or fortunately, in this economy, there are a ton of remote part-time entry-level jobs. I mean, there is 15,000 jobs. I'm here on Indeed with all ranging in a variety of pay. However, I will say, I don't think you're going to be getting the 45 to $55 an hour. I think, especially if you have no experience, you might be sitting around the 15 to $20 an hour. But a lot of the times these things are needed, and a lot of people, you could be an online tutor or test scorer or ESL tutor, depending on your skills. See what your skills are. Maybe get yourself an extra job. And there are part-time shifts, day shifts. I mean, there's a lot of I recommend highly looking for those sort of jobs that say flex time, because those things that say flex time usually means you could kind of go at your own time. You could kind of do your own thing. But I will say, getting a second job, is as annoying as it might sound, might actually be your way, your claim to fame, to make a little bit of extra cash to pay off those bills. The final thing that I want to say is eBay. I personally run my own eBay store. It actually, this was one of my favorite and best items, which I found actually makes me probably the most money besides actually getting the second job. eBay stores are great. A lot of the times you have a bunch of junk, a bunch of things that you got. And it's not just on eBay you could sell. It could be Facebook Marketplace, Mercari. I mean, there's tons of apps out there. I would say that the best two are Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And a lot of times you have all these extra junk lying around. You don't really realize what things are worth, especially nowadays. What I found is what I thought was junk was worth money, and what I thought was worth money wasn't worth anything. So I would highly recommend taking a look at all your assets. I mean, you bought this stuff, if you're not going to use it just sitting there, try and see how much it's worth. Maybe you could sell it. Now, I will say this, you are just getting rid of extra stuff, and you have to have stuff before you get rid of it. But what I did was I personally had a bunch of extra stuff that I was willing to sell. I listed it, and then I took that money, I invested it. So what I did was I then went and I looked for items that were cheap, and then I would then buy those items and resell. So I started my own reselling business on eBay. It's not the biggest business in the world, but it brings in an extra cash. I would say it probably brings in about an extra $100 or $200 a month, and it adds up. That kind of money adds up, and when you start investing into your sort of business, you kind of end up making money on it. Now, this was personally the best way that I found that makes a little bit of extra money if you start your own reselling business, but these are just my personal experiences in which what I found, because I've tried I've watched all these videos. They all tell you do the apps and do this and do that. These are my personal, what I found actually works. The other stuff I wouldn't recommend even trying. I wouldn't try the surveys. I wouldn't try the making the money playing games. That kind of stuff just doesn't work. So I recommend maybe looking at your old items, selling them, and then maybe turning it into some sort of business or possibly getting your second part-time job. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you think of any other side jobs that I may have missed in the comments. Feel free to hit that subscribe and like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care now. Bye bye.